Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Frozen Oil. Once again, it's Rich, and we have Terry and Raj in the house tonight as we look at previewing the round 2 matchup with the Edmonton Oilers and the Vegas Golden Knights. Gentlemen, looks like it's going to be first off, we're getting a lot more respect than we were in the last series, which is a good sign. So welcome to the episode, and we're gonna kick this off by just kind of letting everyone know when the games are. So we got in the first game is obviously tomorrow, which is Tuesday. And they are playing in Vegas, 7:30 p.m. Mountain Time. How do you guys feel about that game?
Love it.
I feel good. I feel good. The way the Oilers kind of finished off LA, I think they're on a high note. It's not too long of a break. It's only been 3 or 4 days, so it gives them time to rest and get back on it. But I'm excited for that game for sure.
Raj?
Yeah, I mean, they both wrapped up the same night, same amount of rest. But the Oilers are, I think, way more fresh than Vegas. Vegas, even though Edmonton's the oldest team, Vegas looked pretty old against Minnesota. They looked slower than usual. So I'm hoping the Oilers are gonna just really take it to them. I think the first game could be a statement game for the Oil.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think the Oilers are going to take game 1. I'm so confident about it. I don't know why I have this feeling. I just do. I just think that if they win game 1, there is a high possibility that the pressure will be on and they could possibly even steal game 2. But as long as we split that opening series, we're good. So that's the schedule. Tomorrow, 7:30 p.m. And then Thursday, May 8th, 7:30 p.m. Game 3 at home in the Terror Dome, as Ryan Whitney called it. Saturday night game at 7 o'clock. That's going to be crazy. And Game 4 is scheduled for Monday at 7:30 at Rogers Place. So that is the schedule. Let's see what the odds makers are saying about this before we give our own perspectives. So there they are there. This is from Bet365. Edmonton Oilers versus Vegas Golden Knights second round series. To win series, Oilers minus 125. Vegas Golden Knights plus 105. It can't get much more 50-50 than that. Hey, guys?
Yeah. And I think it's kind of expected. These two teams played the same kind of way. I think Vegas maybe was obviously stronger at the end of the regular season, but in the playoffs, which is of course a different season, they both finished strong. I mean, Edmonton won obviously 4 in a row. I think Vegas won 3 in a row to eliminate Minnesota and LA. So they both finished pretty strong. So I think it's pretty expected that it's going to be pretty close to a toss-up in this round.
Yeah, for sure. And even the season they split, right? 2-2. So obviously they're very evenly matched. And for a while, like the Oilers and Vegas were competing for that, number 1 spot in the division before the Oilers had a bad streak. So I think they're neck and neck, to be honest. But still, I love the Oilers' chances.
Yeah, I agree with you guys. If it is close, I've been saying this forever, but if it's a close game, you have Connor McDavid. He could break any game open. And I feel when you have Connor McDavid on your team, it just elevates your chances. I mean, you run the game over 100 times. That guy will elevate your chances to win that game, more nights than others. So, if it's close, if it's tight, I like that McDavid factor to get us across the line there. So I agree with you guys there. Let's take a look quickly, as you mentioned, Raj. Let's take a look at the past matchups with the Oilers and the Vegas Golden Knights during the regular season. There they are on screen for us. So their first game was way back on November 6th. The Knights took that one 4-2. Their second game was December 3rd, and the Knights shut out the Oilers 1-0. And then that's kind of when the Oilers started to rev their engines and they went on a little bit of a winning streak. On the 14th of December, the Oilers won 6-3. And the last game, which will be the closest comp for us to look at, was on April 1st. But we ain't fooling. The Oilers won that game 3-2. And a big note there, McDavid was not playing in that game, and Calvin Pickard was between the pipes. So that's a huge win for the Oilers. So that's the matchup for the regular season and kind of what happened. Terry, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, again, that's what leads into them being so close, right? It's again, Golden Knights finished the season strong. So for the Oilers to beat them without McDavid when Vegas was pretty hot and the Oilers were kind of up and down, it showed a lot of resolve, and I think it gave the Oilers or gives the Oilers a lot of confidence going into the series.
Roger?
Well, if we look at it, you expect a low-scoring series, but I honestly don't think it's going to be that. The LA series was high-scoring. Maybe it won't be as high, but I don't think you'll see 1-0 and 3-2, because Adin Hill's numbers against Minnesota were like Skinner-like. So he's not off to a great start. And Minnesota has, no stars like the Oilers. So if he plays the same way, then expect the Oilers to be able to score 5 goals a game on him.
Yeah, I wouldn't consider him, better than Kemper myself. But, he had a massive season, Kemper, and the Oilers seemed to solve him. For me, a big note is Trent Frederic was not in that game, and as soon as Trent Frederic kind of got rolling, I felt that series with LA just shifted dramatically in favor of the Oilers. And we're going to get into the next part here. I was bang on Oilers in 6 for the last series. So before we get into what we see the series being, let's talk about some X factors, and I'll take the liberty to start this one off, fellas. So for me, the biggest X factors is obviously continued stability between the pipes. Hopefully they continue with Pickard. Raj, you were gonna blow a gasket when you heard there was a potential to start Skinner, but
yeah.
Hopefully that doesn't happen. Hopefully, I don't see them switching out Skinner till, maybe he loses 2 in a row, not even one game, but we'll see. But for me, between the pipes, stability, and the big thing for me is Kane, Trent Frederic, and Podkolzin. If those guys come into this next series and they are banging at Vegas, it's going to be something that they haven't seen before from the Oilers, because Podkolzin was alone in that last game, but adding Kane and Frederic, and now they got some experience and some legs. I just see that being the biggest X factor, that forecheck, that crashing and banging. We were putting up 40 hits a game in one of the games against the Kings, and that's amazing. Such a turnaround. We had single digit stats lines for hits in some of the games during the regular season. It was crazy. But if everybody's kind of playing that style and wearing them down with their veteran experience and their hunger to go all the way, I just think that's the biggest X factor, is those 3 guys coming in and just smashing everything in the way to open up ice for Connor and Leon to kind of execute and create offense.
Well, it's funny. It's funny that you said that, Rich, because if we actually look at the Vegas Minnesota series, Vegas was not necessarily a big hitting team. Like, it wasn't a big physical team. So I think off Vegas, their top two hitters were Barbashev and Keegan Kolasar, and I think they led the team with both 21 hits in that series. To put that into perspective, our leading hitter was Zach Hyman, and he had 43 hits. He had more hits than their top two guys combined. And then you add in Podkolzin, I think he had 29 hits. Adam Henrique had 23 hits. Kane had 19 hits, and he played a shortened playoff season. So they're not a physical team, and I think it's going to be very important for the Oilers to come out hitting. Richard, I don't know if you remember in high school, our football coach, Mr. Sharuga, he told me this and it stuck with me. They need to have some controlled violence, right? Don't go crazy and just fly around and try to hit him and give him a chance to get an odd man rush, but they need to come out strong. They need to be controlled with it, right? But they need to wear down the Vegas Knights, because Vegas is a team that has 4 strong lines. It's not going to be like LA where they're only playing, 9 forwards and 4 defensemen. Vegas is a deep team. I was looking at some stats there. In their past 10 games, their top line scored 6 goals. Their second line scored 6 goals. Their third line scored 7 goals, and their fourth line scored 6 goals. Right, so they are a very deep team. So they're going to have to, put pressure on them, wear them down, but they also have to be wary that they're a deep team.
Nice, great analysis. Roger, what are your X factors?
For me, it's I think the forward group, I think ours is better by far, because obviously we have the best 2 players in the world, so no match there. The goaltending, even at best, Vegas is not even better. Like, Adin Hill's numbers were not that good. Pickard's numbers were actually better, but he didn't play as many games. Adin Hill got pulled in that series. His save percentage is like Skinner's, 8. I don't remember the exact one, but it's very comparable. So for me, the X factor is our defense, because Vegas has the best starting 6D in the league. Like, man, unreal.
I agree with that.
So we need our defense to step up, and they're not going to match them, because I don't think they can. But if we can get like the best out of everybody, like limit the mistakes from Bush and Nurse, Klimberg keeps getting better, and even Emberson's penalty kill improved so much. So if we keep seeing like those, gradual improvements, I think our forwards will take care of business.
Also the big thing, Raj, is what people don't realize is their top line. I think it's Braden McNabb and Shea Theodore. Braden McNabb had 8 defensive turnovers last series. That matches Evan Bouchard. So he is notorious for giving the puck up as well, right? So we need to, like I said, push. They can be exposed. Like, Shea Theodore can be exposed. I think Braden McNabb can be exposed. Obviously, there's bad blood between Pietrangelo and the Vegas Knights with the slash a couple of years ago, and then of course the high stick, etc. So there's a lot of bad blood. So I think there's opportunity to expose their defense. We need to capitalize.
Yeah, I hope so. And White Cloud plays them really, really hard too.
Yeah. One big thing. Sorry, Richie. The one big thing, I never actually really got to my X factors. The one big thing is it's going to be so important with this series is the Oilers cannot play from behind. If you look at last series, every team that scored the first goal won that game in Minnesota and Vegas, right? So it's very, very, very important for the Oilers to get that first goal or keep up with them. Otherwise, if they can score that first goal, it's proven that they can win the game. If they get behind, it's going to be a lot tougher to come back than it was in LA.
Yeah, 100%. I agree with you, and I think they learned their lesson last series. To be quite honest with you, I think it's harder to make a comeback against the Kings. They just play that system so well, and I was shocked at some of those comebacks, especially in game one. Such a letdown. That would have been. You'd be watching the highlights of that game if the Oilers won it in 20 years from now. But yeah, you can't fall behind on the Kings. The Oilers got to come out strong, and I feel they will. Like you said, Raj. Like I feel in game one they're just gonna send a message, the big thing for me too is the officiating. I mean, I know Oiler fans are kind of called out all the time, especially on social media, for complaining about the refs. But I mean, there was a play in the LA series where Connor Brown's stick got broken in half right in front of the ref. There was no call, and then
cross check on Kane right into the net.
That's another one. But on
bad,
on the same shift of that Connor Brown stick being broken, McDavid got tripped a few seconds later in the offensive zone, and there was no call. So I also feel, and I'm telling you guys, because I felt the Oilers were destined to win the cup 3 years ago, 2 years ago, and last year. But 2 years ago when they played the Golden Knights, and you referred to it, the infamous cross check slash on Draisaitl by Pietrangelo. I just felt the referees in a couple of those games completely changed the momentum of the Edmonton Oilers. And I also believe that Mattias Janmark was injured for that series, which he would have been a huge difference maker. So he's healthy this year. So I mean, it's a different vibe going into this series. And we also got Game 7 Stanley Cup final experience. So the boys know they can go to that final round and go deep. So yeah, I see a completely different series, which will bring us to the next and final portion of this playoff preview. Thanks so much for tuning in. Want to take a quick second to kindly ask whoever's checking out these videos to consider subscribing to the channel. We're marching towards 900. Really appreciate it. And we are on social media as well. You can follow us at Frozen Oil Hockey. We are on Twitter X. We are also now on Instagram and TikTok. Same handle. So check us out there. And let's get to the predictions. So who wants to start it off? I'm going to go last.
I'll start it off. I think the series is going to be similar to the LA series. It's going to be similar. Like I said, Vegas is definitely a deeper team. The Oilers are going to come out. They've learned from round one. They're going to come out flying. They know that they have to hit them. I made a mistake for some reason. Last video, I for some reason thought Oilers had home ice advantage against LA. So this time I'm going to get it right. I'm going to go Oilers in 6 at home.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
Raj?
You know, I have to. I was thinking the same thing. It could go 7, but McDavid and Draisaitl, they have no answer for that. I mean, their best two players, Eichel and Stone, arguably the second best, not even like close to what we have. I know they're a little deeper, but I think our lineup is more complete now. Like you were mentioning with Frederick and Kane, like we have like just different looking lines 1 through 4. It's like such a complete forward group. So I think they're gonna just keep pushing it and hoping that we break through their defense. And I'll agree with Terry, Oilers in 6.
And we're actually on track to complete this video in under 20 minutes. So great job, guys. For me, I don't know, man. I got a sign. And the way I see it, the Oilers take game 1. Hopefully, knock on wood. They might lose game 2, but they could take game 2. And I am calling it right now. Oilers in 5. That's my pick. That's what I feel. And the good news is we're obviously all going to take the Oilers, right?
We're all on the same page, at least.
Yeah.
We're all on the same page here. We're giving the credit that's due to the Golden Knights, but I just feel the Oilers, they're just a different animal this year. And I feel like they're jaded a little bit. They got some nastiness to them. And That's what it's going to take to beat teams like the Golden Knights, to beat teams like the Florida Panthers. You got to really want it. And I feel McDavid and Draisaitl want it. Like, that's it. They want it. They went to the brink of that ultimate glory of winning Lord Stanley, and I don't think anything's going to stop them. So,
yeah.
Well, boys, thanks so much for taking the time to. I don't know if my voice is going to be able to last another series because I lost it in the last series, but I think we're watching it together on Monday, so that's going to be fun. I mean, pardon me, on Tuesday, so that's going to be fun tomorrow.
For sure.
So that's going to be awesome, and that's going to do it for today's episode.
Rich,
yeah,
I sent in the chat. We still have time to maybe hop on a plane down to Vegas. It would be
I
good
know.
content.
I know. My passport is expired, so I'd have to do one of those 24-hour turnaround things. And judging by, I heard there might be another delay in Canada Post or strike or something. True. So that might be an issue, but. Yeah, for sure. We're going to start doing stuff like that in the future and maybe attending some road games. So it's going to be awesome. But that's going to do it for today's episode. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks, Terry. Thanks, Raj. Really appreciate you guys coming on and giving your insight. And most importantly,
go Oilers, go.
Yeah, let's go.
Professional hockey, the channel you need. Oilers on the ice, unstoppable speed. Chasing the cup, we're gonna succeed. With David leading, we're built to exceed.